What's going on, people, and welcome back to the Chef Early Show, y'all. Today we making teriyaki chicken. We got our chicken thighs sitting in that water in that vinegar bath. You already know. Next, we have our pineapple juice in the can. We have two types of sugar. We got brown sugar and white sugar. Next, we got a whole onion. Right here, we got some soy sauce. We got some garlic, some fresh garlic. Also, we have some broccoli and some carrots. So yeah, get your veggies. All right. All right. As you can see, we got our chicken all chopped up. We cut the bones out, and it's all ready to go. I got my pineapple juice is still sitting here. I got my carrots and my broccoli is all chopped up and cleaned. Also, I chopped up the garlic. Chop up your onions. Get everything prepped. Get everything prepped and ready. And get your if you got a cast iron, start getting that warmed up. And so you can follow these steps successfully. Now, what you want to do is, I'm going to get your garlic out. You can use any kind of cutting board or whatever you use to chop your vegetables up, or in the house. So you want to use 4 to 5 cloves of garlic. And what you want to do, and what I would usually do, is get my knife, and I will cut the garlic cloves in half. I will cut them in half first, and then I will chop them down into smaller pieces. And that's what I'm doing right here. I'm cutting them in half and I'm chopping them down to smaller pieces. And you want to do that for each one of the garlic cloves that you want to use for our chicken teriyaki in order to flavor our food today. Now I'm using a smaller knife, but you can use any type of knife you have in your kitchen as long as it cuts through this garlic. It reveals that flavor. So next up, I already chopped the onion down a little bit. So I'm just going to show you that you just got to chop it down a little bit of a rough chop. Just chop it down to smaller pieces. After you cut it into slices, just chop it down to smaller pieces. Not too small. Just, like so. And just cut across. And that should be just fine. So just chop that thing. Alright. Chop that thing right on up. Alright, now next up, we have our broccoli. So what you would want to do is cut some of this stem part off. You can cut some of this stem part off right here at the end, because it's actually too much. So you will cut as much as that as you want off. I usually cut down all the way down. I have to fix a little bit of light on top of this thing so that people can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to cut some more of the stem part off right here. Be very careful cutting this off, especially when dealing with sharp knives. Okay, we'll be in the ER, homie. So, cut your pieces of your broccoli now. Cut them off that stem. Get them all separated. Get them prepped and ready for the wash. And sometimes, if the broccoli's too big, you cut the broccoli straight down the middle, cut it in half. It'll make them fit, and on your. It'll make them fit on your plate easier. I don't wanna, I don't wanna cook food and then have my broccoli bigger than my pieces of chicken. You know what I'm saying? So you wanna just chop them down and make sure they look good, presentable, and it helps with the cooking process also. All right, now the next step, get your carrots out and chop your carrots up. You can throw them right in the same bowl with the broccoli because it's all gonna go in together. So let's get your carrots, get them chopped up into smaller pieces, not too small, but about half an inch pieces. Just chop them up and throw some of them right in that bowl with the broccoli right on top of that thing, and it's gonna help brighten up your dish and bring it and balance your plate and bring your food to life, man. This is what we want to do. We want to bring food to life. So as you can see, we got our broccoli and our carrots in one bowl. We have our garlic and onions chopped up in another bowl. I'm gonna get a little bit focused on this so you can see. This is exactly where I want it. So now it's ready to go, and now we can start moving on to the next steps. So now, this is the deboning process because they are chicken thighs. So they have like this single bone in them. So what you have to do is cut along one side of the bone and cut the other side of the bone and fold it in half and then try cutting away and then cut the back out and then just cut it straight out. Okay. It's very easy. It's very simple. We're gonna try this again. And what you're gonna do? You're gonna keep repeating this process until you cut the bone out of all the chicken. Locate the bone. Cut on one side of the bone. Then cut away around the edge of the other side of the bone. And once you reveal it, you fold it in half, and then you come down the back side of it and you cut it straight out. And that's how you debone chicken thigh. Then repeat this process until you're all done, and then we go on to the next step. Now it's time to chop this chicken up. So take your deboned chicken thighs. You want to cut them in half. Then after you cut them in half, you want to cut them into nice cubes. Nice size cube shapes. Cut them babies right on up. So you will follow this process until all your chicken is all cubed up and they're ready to go inside that thing. Alright, so on this next step, we are coating our pan with some good old vegetable oil in that thing. And get a little bit focused up here. There we go. Now you can see. Great value. Got a big old gallon of this thing. Alright, I'm going to pour some of this inside this hot cast iron skillet. I'm just going to coat the pan. So this way none of this food sticks to this pan. Now the next step, grab your onions and your garlic that was in the bowl. And what you want to do is you want to drop those right in the oil. A good old hot vegetable oil. And you want to start to stir the garlic and the onion together. I am not a culinary artist, so just throw some salt and pepper on that thing. And season it. I love salt and pepper. That's my salt and pepper shaker right there. Throwing salt and pepper. Stir it up a little bit. I'm also throwing in a little bit of adobo in there. So I got adobo and salt and pepper inside my garlic and my onions. It's almost like I'm seasoning the oil. So I'm seasoning the oil so that when everything comes together, it'll taste so good. Huh? Whew. Let's get it. So you're gonna let that cook for about 30 seconds. Then you're gonna move on to the next step. Now on to the next one. Here we go. You want to get your chicken, and you want to start applying your chicken right on top of your garlic and your onions and your salt and your pepper and your adobo that you already seasoned up all together in the oil. You want to get all of that in there. I started dropping these one by one because I didn't know how the oil was going to fire back. But then I started seeing that everything was all cool and safe. So I started dropping them things 1, 2, and 3 at a time. You know, take your time for cooking, man. Take your time because it's all about the love. You got to put the love sauce in your food. And you don't want to rush cooking. Because you rush it, it's either going to be burnt or it's going to be nasty. So you're going to make sure that the love sauce equals time that you cater into your food. So apply all the chicken inside the pan. And then we make our way on to the next step. Now next, you want to get your spoon or whatever you're going to use to cook everything with. Then you want to start stirring this up. You want to get it mixed in with the oil. You want to get it mixed in with the onions. You want to get it mixed in with the garlic. So all that flavor that you got all together in there, you want to mix all of that up and stir it up. Almost like stir fry it a little bit. You want to keep your flame high. And you want to get this all mixing all up in that thing. Yep. So stir this up. And once everything gets stirred up, then you can move on to the next step. Alright, next, what you want to do is you want to start a 12-minute timer. You want to start a 12-minute stir-fry timer. And what you want to do, if there's any extra seasonings that you want to put in, if there's anything else that you want to add on to your chicken while it's cooking, now is the time. So you can give it a couple of more stirs. You make sure it's coated on both sides. You're going to start seeing a little bit of browning happening. The chicken's going to start to cook from the outside. So what I'm doing here is I got my ground ginger shaker, you know me, and chicken and ginger together is amazing. So take a ginger, if you got fresh ginger you can cut it up, but I have ground ginger, so I'm shaking some fresh ginger inside of my chicken while it's cooking for that 12-minute timer. As you can see, it's simmering because I got that flame high. Also, I got some rosemary leaf. If you got fresh rosemary, you can always use fresh rosemary, but I have some already on hand. So I am going to sprinkle some rosemary all up in that thing. Let me get this camera all focused up so you can see. Throwing some rosemary in there. Rosemary and chicken goes together very well. There we go. Now once you've done that, then we can move on to the next step. So what you want to do for the remaining amount of time on your 12-minute timer, you want to cover this up. You want to cover your food up and let it sit for the remainder of the 12 minutes. Then when that time is done, you're going to take the cover off and your chicken should be completely done. It's 12 minutes. It's done. And what you want to do is give it a couple of stirs, move around the good old juices that's all up in that thing. Everything should be smelling really, really good right now. And by this point, you are halfway done to your teriyaki chicken meal. Now, on the next step, you want to add in 2 to 2.5 cups of pineapple juice. You're going to add your pineapple juice because you're making the sauce from scratch. You're going to add the pineapple juice, and then you're going to add your brown sugar. You're going to take the brown sugar, and you're going to add your brown sugar. That's about a half a cup of brown sugar right there, and then you're gonna mix that together. Now, once you added your brown sugar in, you want to turn your flame back up, and then you want to begin that mixing process. So you want this brown sugar to break down and dissolve. So you want to give it a couple of stirs. Be careful not to spill any, because it's going to be eventually hot. Now, what you want to do is you want to add 2 finger pinches of white sugar. Okay, 2 finger pinches. Okay, that's 1. You want to put your hand in the sugar and grab another finger pinch and throw 2 finger pinches of white sugar inside, and then you want to stir that up. So far so good. Everything's going good. It's pretty easy steps to follow, and this is what we do. Now on this step, when everything comes to a boil and everything gets hot all over again, we want to add in about a half a cup of soy sauce. Okay, very important. A half a cup of soy sauce, and then you want to give that a stir. And that soy sauce is going to give it that great flavor. Remember, we're making the teriyaki sauce from scratch. Now, once you finish mixing all your soy and everything all together, you want to grab your vegetables, and you want to get your vegetables in there, because now you want those to cook. So you want to get that all in there, and you want to mix that all around. Spread them out evenly. And what you want to do, you want to let these cook for about 4 to 5 minutes, okay? So once you've done spreading them out and getting them all spread evenly, it'll start to cook down. So once you spread them out, give them 5 minutes to cook down, and then we're gonna move on to the next step. Now, while your veggies are cooking down, you want to put some water in a bowl, and you want to add in about two spoonfuls of flour. I didn't use a spoon. I just poured some straight in there. You can do that method too if you like. And you want to mix this down. You want to mix it. You want to use warm water and some flour. And what's going to happen is when you pour this into your mix, it's going to thicken it up, and it's going to turn what you just made into a sauce. So you want to keep mixing this up and mixing this up and mixing this up until you get those lumps that's right there. So you get those lumps out. So now that the lumps are out, after you stir it for about 2 or 3 minutes, the lumps should be completely out. Then you want to take your slurry mix, I'm gonna call it your slurry mix, and you are going to pour your slurry mix into your product that you have here, or your meal, and then you want to start mixing that up. Now, you will immediately see that as soon as you start to mix it up, the sauce is going to start to thicken. Well, the juice that you made all together is going to start thickening, and it's going to turn into a sauce, okay? So as you can see, everything is coming all together now. It's starting to get thick. Starting to thicken up, and everything is really starting to look good. I like how the broccoli and the carrots is bringing life to this dish. Everything is looking extra good right now. It's smelling extra good. So what you will want to do is serve this over with some rice. And you eating good tonight. This is the teriyaki chicken tutorial. I hope you enjoyed. I thank everybody for watching. If you like what you see, try it at home, and just hashtag me. Here we go. I got my white rice right here. So once again, I thank everybody for watching. I appreciate the video love. I'm gonna continue to keep posting these videos. This is just the beginning stages. Hopefully one day I end up in the state-of-the-art kitchen, or on a TV show where I can really broadcast my meals. Thanks for watching. And if you want to see me cook any other meal, just let me know in the comments below. Or you can always email me. My name is DJ Early. My friends call me Chef Early. And thank you. Thanks for watching. Chicken teriyaki.